In this video, we're going to teach you about the 4 different types of income that people earn and where 95% of people spend their time and where the other 5% spend their time, which is a much better way to live.
Hi, we're the Schwarms.
Glenn and Amber.
So let's talk about the first kind of income, and that's linear income. And this is how most people live. And basically what that means is you're trading your time for someone else's dollars. When you do that, you're making somebody else's dreams come true. You're never making your own dreams come true. And that's where so many industries focus. And that goes for whether you're a W-2 employee or even if you're a professional, if you're a doctor or a lawyer. Again, so many industries are covered by that. If you're a contractor, you're trading your time for someone else's dollars. So that's linear income.
The bottom line with linear income is if you're not working, you're not getting paid. The risk is if something happens to you or that employer decides to terminate your employment contract, you're out of money.
As a mom, if you have a full-time job and you're taking care of kids, earning a linear income is not the best way to go at it, because if something happens, your kids get sick and you have to take the day off of work in order to take care of your sick child, you're not earning money on that day. So you need to find a better way to live.
The next income stream is residual income, which is by far our favorite.
Absolutely.
And that comes from doing something once and then having it pay you over and over and over again. If you do it right, it can pay you for a lifetime and beyond. Some examples of residual income might be writing a book. It might be that they discover oil or gas on your land, and they'll pay you a residual income for coming in and renting your land out for that. Or our favorite is real estate rentals. Long-term real estate rentals is the greatest way to have residual income. The best way I can describe residual income is this. You probably pay rent or a mortgage now. If you think about it, when you pay that money, somebody gets that income every single month. If you're paying rent, a landlord gets it. If you're paying a bank, the bank and the board of directors and the stockholders, they'll receive that money. But when you're paying somebody else's residual income. We want to encourage you to get on the receiving side through real estate rentals. So you have money that comes every month. What does that do? That provides tremendous freedom for you as an individual. Because when you have income coming in, if something happens in your life, if you get sick, if you have to take time off, if you need to go out of the country, if a loved one needs you, the best part is if you have a guaranteed residual income that comes in month after month, is not relying on you doing something over and over again, that's a lifestyle that you want to start building towards.
Yeah, and one of the first ways that Glenn and I were really introduced to residual income was through a multi-level marketing company.
Yes.
But there's problems with that too. Like that company went out of business, the first one that we were in. And there's also rules and regulations. So while, yes, you are part of a business that may give you residual income, there's still limits to that. And we don't have that with real estate, which is awesome. But another residual income source is royalties. And a lot of people out there I know watch Shark Tank, and everybody likes Mr. Wonderful or doesn't like Mr. Wonderful, because he always wants those royalties on the deals that he does. And while that may not always be great for the business owner, but man, is he a smart business guy, because he gets those royalties, because that's a consistent flow of income for him every single month.
Now, with rental income from residuals, you have to do it right. We've all heard the horror stories of people saying, oh, I don't want to be a landlord. I don't want to get that phone call in the middle of the night. I don't want to deal with clogged toilets or tenants not paying and all that. Here's how you fix that. Immediately, even if you have one property, give that to a property management company so you have minimal involvement with those decisions. Let them handle the day-to-day so you don't have to worry about it. Then it becomes a true residual income. If you decide to be a landlord, now it's linear income, and it's a very different game. So hire a landlord and make sure that you turn rentals into residual income.
So the next type of income is interest income. And that's when you take your money and you invest it. You either put it in the bank to earn interest, or you invest it in stocks or in some other kind of investment. The problem with that is you have to invest a considerable amount of money in order to get any sort of decent return.
To give an example of how much money you have to have saved to earn a decent interest income, you would first have to know what interest rate you'd be getting on that money. Typically, if we're looking at your retirement, most financial planners will keep you around 4 or 5% in your investments. Well, let's do the math. If you wanted to earn $10,000 a month in retirement, that equals $120,000 a year in passive income from your interest investments. If you were earning 5% on that money, you'd have to have $2.4 million saved or invested earning 5% for you to earn $10,000 a month in income. So it's not always as easy for everyone to come up with that $2.4 million as it is to put your time and efforts into other investments.
So the last kind of income is business income. And that's when you go out and you build a business and then you get paid on the profits of that business.
If you build a business and you still work in that business, then you get linear income from that position. Even if you started the business and you are a CEO, you're still getting a salary for being the CEO and running the day-to-day of that company. So in that example, you're actually getting linear income while you're working in that role. So if you're a business owner, don't be confused. If your business doesn't generate significant profits above and beyond what you take home out of the business every year, it's not really passive income at that point. You want to get to the point where your business pays you profits. Because if you structure the business correctly and get the right leaders in place, eventually you can step out of the day-to-day of operations and eventually sit in what we call the owner's seat. The owner's seat in a business, when you literally are the owner. You check in with your leaders once a quarter and see how you're doing, and you get to take the profits that are remaining from that business, and other people inside the company all get linear income to run that business for you. But when you first start the business as an entrepreneur, you're going to have to wear those hats and get that linear income for a while as you build the business income. But as a business owner, I'm going to encourage you, make sure that you're always thinking about the future and planning for tomorrow by putting the right leaders in place so you can literally eventually step out of the day-to-day from that company and go out and do something else with your time while the business pays you an income.
Yeah, and I think the mistake a lot of people make is they think I'm an entrepreneur, but they're not really sorting out the different types of income and how that affects the rest of your life and even your retirement. I grew up, for example, I grew up in a family business and I always wanted to take that business over when my dad retired. But as I got in like to my late 20s and 30s, I realized that yes, while he was an entrepreneur and owned his own business, that business really owned him. Like he didn't have any freedom outside of that.
Great point.
So as you're looking at this and deciding what you want your future to look like, just keep those kind of things in mind.
For instance, Amber and I back in 2007 flipped our first house, bought our first rental in 2003, but we started flipping houses in 2007. And now after 1,000 deals, our company still does 100 plus deals a year in upstate New York. And we live on the beach in Florida. We moved here during COVID. And now we only work in the business minimally. Amber actually stepped out of the business altogether, and I am the CEO. My role means I meet with my leaders about once a week to have a conversation about the company and where we're going. But we live off the profits of that business, not off the linear income of that business. Always make your goal as a business owner to eventually be able to move away from the business, put the right people in the right seats, and you'll have an amazing income from a business that you start. Begin with the end in mind.
So the ultimate goal is to help you create as much residual income as you possibly can. And the best way that we know how to do that is definitely through real estate investing.
Amen.
So if you liked what you heard here, make sure that you like this video, make sure that you comment, and make sure that you subscribe to our channel because we have a lot more information coming your way.
If you want to learn more, check out our next video. You know, you stole my comment thing. I was supposed to say that.
What are you going to do?